Hi, my name is Nicole Zaplicki, and welcome to my Google experience. My prior experience with Google is as a teacher at Halifax High School. As you can see, I'm not really getting a lot of followers with my Google Plus profile, but I do use Google Drive all the time as a teacher. Here you can see my students produced some Google presentations and shared them with me on Google Drive. This is just one of the ways that I used Google Drive. I definitely had some success during this class. I sort of felt like the lady in this picture. One of the things I really liked was the small learning curve on a lot of the Google tools. I was really only familiar with Google Docs, and so it made me more comfortable as I went through that I could easily apply these tools. One of my favorite tools was the calendar, and I loved that you could share it. I really thought this was going to be a lifesaver, and it did come in handy. Another thing that I found, even though I used Google Drive a lot and had used Forms a lot, I never thought of using Forms as a rubric in class for grading student presentations and projects, and I thought, wow, this will be really helpful. I never really got the point of being a blogger. I've read a few blogs, but I've never thought of creating one. And probably this was the most fun out of all of these. And I really think this one for sure is something that I am going to keep up with. I loved creating the blog, and I'm already thinking of other blogs that I can create for parenting tips and things like that. So I'm really excited for this. Last is the classroom and website. I really put a lot of thought into this, how to use this so that it could be something that I really was going to use to the fullest advantage. And I'm super excited that I got these up and running. The students can test them out now, and I am ready to start posting more things on them when the fall semester starts. It really is going to help me. But I definitely had some major challenges. First of all, I had some major glitches with how my school set up the Google tools that they get free and how they gave teachers access. Initially, I was not able to use Google Plus or even create a blog with the way that it was set up. And also, I just found a lot of glitches with the Moodle and using it through my school's website and server. So I definitely was feeling like I was harassing my tech support person a lot at school, and it really slowed me down, quite honestly, in a lot of my projects. Google Sites was probably the hardest for me and took me the longest time, and I won't lie, I actually cried like 3 times. So it just was hard for me to understand. I definitely was using the tools that were being provided on the Eduspire Moodle, but I was definitely having a hard time with it. By the end, I felt pretty good with it, and it definitely will serve my purposes, but it was the trickier for me to set up. Google Classroom definitely has some drawbacks compared to Moodle, and even though I really like the setup and the streaming and everything like that, I'm gonna have to get used to it because there are just some things that you can't do, some of the functionalities and the tools that I really liked about Moodle that you really can't do with Google Classroom. But I'm excited because I think Google will do more with Classroom, and I definitely want to use this for my senior project for my students next year. Learning online is awesome. It's student-centered, it's self-paced, it really teaches you to be independent, and you do have to be motivated, which can be a challenge, and not procrastinate. It's very engaging. You're not sitting there listening to lectures. And a lot of times it forced me, out of my comfort zone. And I had to try to figure things out on my own, like with the Google Sites. There were some things that I was running up against that I couldn't find the answers on the Moodle. So I was going out on my own and trying to figure it out. And what I really enjoyed about the online class is I could do it anywhere at any time. And I really think this is the wave of the future. And I know Halifax, we're seeing a lot more classes going towards a blended learning where you can do some of it online and some of it in the classroom. Oh, the Moodle. The pros are there are so many functions and so many options. And I really like the way that you had it set up for the Google Tools classroom. And I've experienced other EdgeAspire classes, and I like the way that many of the instructors have it set up and how they can utilize it. And I've actually learned a lot about Moodle through the EdgeAspire class, even though I haven't taken any formal classes on the Moodle. The cons are I definitely need more training to better utilize all the functioning that is out there. And at our school, we do use Moodle as our learning platform, our learning management system, but we've had so many problems. And quite honestly, the students are frustrated, the teachers are frustrated, and I think in the future, we may be using a different system. This is my Moodle for my health and wellness class. And you can see here that I have them actually working on a Google Docs for their current health article. Here's another shot where you can see all my units are set up, and if they click on the unit number, it will actually open up, and there you can see all the files, links that I have set up for my class. Now it's time to take a tour through my Google Projects portfolio. I was really familiar with Google Drive, but I wanted to do more. I actually had my students create Google Slides, but I never actually had created one. So for an upcoming interview, I had to present the wellness model, and I created that on Google Slides and presented it from Google Slides. It was very easy to do. Next, for my Google Drive project, I also decided to use the form as a rubric. I could use my iPad in class to grade student presentations. And this is great because it created a paperless system for me to grade the students. I never thought of this before, and I was so excited to use this. 370 students getting their fitness testing scores creates a lot of problems when I'm trying to figure out who gets an award and who doesn't. So I created the fitness testing score sheet for students to put their scores in electronically. It puts it all into a spreadsheet, and then I can sort through to figure out who gets what awards. Next, I created a Google Calendar for high school student council and shared it with my student council executive officers. You can see here in the pink, we definitely don't have a lot of dates that are open for meetings, but we're going to try our best to see when people are available. I also created a high school PE and health calendar, and I use that on my blog and my classroom website, and you can see there in the green, I put in some dates there. So I did actually create 2 calendars, and I'm really excited to continue to use calendars. I needed a place for my senior PE project because I do not have seniors in class. I decided I needed some sort of learning management system, and I did not want to use the Moodle because the students are so frustrated with it, and we've had so many problems with it at Halifax this year. So Google Classroom was a great option, and I have it ready to go for the fall, and I had a few of my juniors that are going to be seniors next year test it out because they are doing their project early. The next project I did was my blog. I created a blog called Halifax Healthy Happenings, and this was probably the most fun I had with Google Tools, and definitely something that I'm going to utilize a lot in the upcoming year. I would like all my classes to have a link to this so they can be checking it and parents can have access to it. And it's a really easy web address to remember. So I really want this to be my home base for all my classes and also a home base for the parents so they can see what we're doing, and I can do parent weekly updates. The last project, and as I already said, the most challenging for me, was creating the classroom website. I decided to create it for a new course that I'm offering in the fall through the college and the high school program at HAC. And right now, I need a place for students that are interested in scheduling this class to get information about the class, but I also needed something that I could use in the fall as a home base for the course. HAC does have their own learning management system, so I definitely will not be putting this class up on the Moodle. And until I am familiar with how to use that system, this really will be the site that my students will be going to. Thanks for letting me share all my projects and for offering this really informative class. Please follow me on Google Plus so that I have 5 followers. Thanks a lot.